Thank you. Normally, when people talk about having pets, it's about a cat or a dog. This is Jensen. He would be my perfect pet. They say that owners are like their pets, and I think we'd be a great match. In fact, we would be best friends. But in the now, Jensen remains in my imagination in the field of potentialities until someday I have the time to parent a dog. From Jensen to the honeybee, how? Technically, it's the bumblebee's fault. I've loved bumblebees since the beginning of time. Small, oval-shaped, non-aggressive, yellow and black pieces of fluff. Bumblebees pollinate plants and flowers, but they don't produce wax or honey, so the honeybee it is. This is where I want to get to. Complete balance, contentment and harmony between human and bee. Two species is one. No protection between me and them. I want to be calm, relaxed and controlled enough to not threaten the bees. I'm working on this mindfulness thing. It may take some time, and I haven't quite got there yet. Going completely natural with my beekeeping is the direction I decided to take. Pictured as pure white wax produced by the bees and no hand protection, working on that mindfulness thing. It's not easy considering I'm a wet behind the ears beekeeper and there's a lack of people out there as mentors who work in this way. When foraging in the bee community trying to find my way, I was swiftly directed towards a like-minded beekeeper in an eco-community in Fife. She does beekeeping and wild comb, and she became my mentor in the bee world. This is where I bought my first bees. My next dilemma, how to get 5,000 bees home from Fife to Forfar. So with my little polystyrene box, I put 5,000 bees into the passenger seat of my car. In the dark, drove 20 miles an hour all the way from Fife to Forfar, the longest journey of my life without a breath. Living in the countryside is due to be the perfect life, but we'll hear more about that later. So what do I get out of beekeeping? Stung. Nah, I don't get stung unless I'm being careless or clumsy. Stinging is fatal for any bee. When a bee stings, her stinger hooks in, and in her attempts to get away, she disembowels herself. Bees know this is going to happen, so they don't let it happen. I also collect an excess beeswax from the bees to make soap and candles with, and I do hoppy ear candling as well. I do this to de-wax my ears from time to time and anyone else in need of unblocking. I haven't as yet attempted to make candles from earwax itself, but maybe someday. This is a partially filled frame. The girls are architectural geniuses. They know the exact number and size of cells to build a frame. From the top middle to the right-hand side is wild comb-capped honey. For harvesting, what I would do is slice it into rectangles and put it into tubs, unpasteurised, really tasty. Living in the countryside, surrounded by bees, yet come August, the bees in one of my hives were starving. The queen stopped laying. She realised there wasn't enough food to feed her family, so she stopped producing in August. Mass block production farming caused this, not the fault of the farmers. It's the way they're told to work to make a living. One minute there were crops everywhere for the bees to pollinate and feed from. The next, nothing. It was harvested, just soil. This is a jar of sugar syrup made to feed the bees in August to save them. The bees that pollinate the plants that feed us are struggling. Our bees are dying out rapidly. Seeing the bees shut down due to starvation in August shocked me into realising how very real this is. It's not just a Facebook post. Bees can survive without humans. Humans can't survive without bees. Who do you think's top of the food chain? Wildflowers. Wildflowers flourish in poor soil. If we stopped using pesticides and fertilisers, this is what our countryside would look like. Wildflowers are really scrummy for bees. After saving a tired bee in my friend's house in town, I realised there's a wider consistency of flowers in town than in the countryside. So in an inspirational moment, me, now 10,000 bees, 2 hives and 2 chickens, moved from the countryside into town in our attempts to find a more self-sustaining life. This is their new urban home next to Chicken Licken and Henny Penny. A lot less beautiful than being in the countryside, but the mission is on to find a more chemical-free life. The average crop field has a variety of 22 different pesticides sprayed on it, 22 different forms of poison. The girls are fighting against us, what we're doing to our planet, global warming. This is Christmas Day. It was so mild that they thought it was spring, so they came out foraging for food. Behind me is a carpet of dead bees. There was, of course, no food. They didn't have enough energy to get back home alive. Humans pollinating apple trees in China, where one type of bumblebee originated, now extinct. I don't have children, and when I die, it's game over, no legacy to continue. But a lot of people here will have children and grandchildren. What can we do to best protect them and their future? How can we help? If you see a dying bumblebee or honeybee in the ground, they're probably starving. If you give them a teaspoon of sugar syrup, sugar water, then that'll give them enough energy to get back home to their family. It's small scale, yes, but that's something that will cause a ripple effect, bridging that gap between human and bee. Weeds are the bees' first source of food when coming out of winter. Weeds are technically flowers that people don't want. What do humans do when they see weeds? Roundup, weed killers, in gardens, on paths, being ingested by bees, children, pets, not to be taken lightly, it's a poison. Dandelions, they're stunning, what's not to like? This is my 17-year-old apprentice, Jordan. The biggest action we can take is to educate the next generation. They've never seen a swarm of bees before and likely never will. Who does these days? Go out there, plant wildflowers, sign petitions, stand up for the very workers that are keeping us fed and alive, the bees. Thank you.
Well done.